Well, welcome again to another episode of OSH Radio, and this is Crazy John. And I'm here tonight with Lincoln Cannon. We just had a false start, so that's why if I seem a little odd, that's why. But Lincoln here is the CEO of a very interesting new company called Thrivous, a vitamin company, and I do have some supplements here. I actually got them today and did try them tonight for a workout. I'm very enthused about this. Maybe Lincoln, you can tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you interested in being CEO of a supplement company?
Yeah, happy to do that. And thanks for having me on your show, John. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I've been using supplements for many years. Like a lot of people, I'm really interested in trying to do my best to improve my health, to optimize my performance. I started when I was in my 20s, actually. Creatine was my first supplement. I used it in the gym, and that's not uncommon. A lot of people start using creatine for the gym, and it works. It works great. Creatine's a great supplement. I still use it to this day. It's been over 20 years that I've been using creatine, and it's one of my favorites. In more recent years, maybe a decade ago or so, I started looking at supplements that could improve my cognition, particularly things like endurance. Cognitive endurance interested me a lot because I tend to try to work long hours. And when you get to the tail end of a long day, you start to drag a little bit. You're not as effective. You maybe make decisions that aren't as good as you make in the morning. So I wanted to try to counter that. And I also became interested in supplements that might help with aging. I'm in my 40s now, and I want to live a long, healthy life so I can spend it with the people I love, with my family and my friends, and spend it doing things that I enjoy doing. I really, for the most part, enjoy life. We all have our challenges, but life, in my estimation, is a great thing. And so spending it with people I love and spending more of it is a desirable thing. And so years ago, I started becoming interested in finding supplements that would help with cognition, help with better aging. And I dug very deeply into the science behind them, read a lot, studied a lot, analyzed a lot, started making decisions about my supplementation regimen and doing things, started taking the supplements and have been doing that for years. It's been 4 years now. About 4 years ago, I was in the middle of I was trying to start my own business. I had been in the corporate world as a software engineer for about 20 years, and I wanted to get out of the corporate world and I wanted to start something of my own. And I was looking at a lot of different things, tried a few different things, and they weren't getting traction. And one day when I was talking to my wife about it, she said, well, you know what you should try? Look next to your sink. You have all these supplement bottles, and you always have your friends asking you what it is that you do to supplement for cognition and aging. And you give them advice and they seem to like the advice. Why don't you try selling that? And so I took my wife up on the idea. In fact, she knew a chemist, and she said, hey, I'm going to go talk to my chemist friend and see if he could help us out. And why don't you go talk to some people that might be good customers, see what they think about it. And I did that, did some basic marketing research, and right away I saw that it had potential. She came back from a meeting with the chemist and she said, yeah, he wants to help. He's on board. And so that day, she and I founded a company, come to be known as Thrivous. That wasn't its original name, by the way, but it evolved into what became Thrivous. And then within a few months, we had gotten our first product developed with our chemist friend. We started running it through manufacturing, and we had it on the market. And the first one was called Clarity. I think you have Clarity. It's one of the products we sent to you.
Let me see here. I know I have it, but just got to find it. Clarity. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That was our first product. And
I'm going to tomorrow, so I'm going to try some of these tomorrow at my meeting. So
cool. Yeah, it targets cognition, particularly memory and cognitive endurance, which are the two things that, over years have interested me most in trying to improve. And it includes nutrients that have been studied in multiple human studies, placebo-controlled, and have proven themselves to be effective in those multiple human studies for improving memory. In fact, the primary ingredient in Clarity for improving memory is called Bacopa. And it's even been compared in studies that some scientists have done to nootropic drugs, in particular to modafinil. And it was found to have a higher magnitude of effect than modafinil, although for a different cognitive application. Modafinil is typically used to enhance attention, whereas Bacopa is usually used to enhance memory. But in the studies that they compared, Bacopa had a higher overall magnitude of effect across the multitudes of human studies that they included in their systemic analysis. And anyway, so it includes Bacopa for memory. It includes rhodiola, which is a great nutrient for improving cognitive endurance, particularly in periods of stress or when you've been working a long time, have fatigue, and you get a little bit more tired than usual. And then it also includes a high dose B complex. And a lot of people think, well, B complex, that's just like a multivitamin, right? Well, actually, B complex is one of the best supplements that you can take for nootropic purposes. The vitamin Bs are super important to the functioning of your brain.
Well, if you really read a lot of the one shots and 5 hours and stuff, one of the main thing they have in it is B vitamins.
Yes, they do. They do. And that's the reason, because they do work wonders for your brain. And in fact, the RDAs that the government puts out, you read on any supplement facts label, it'll say some percentage of the recommended daily intake, right? Well, those are probably great if you're just trying to avoid having some kind of illness from not having enough of the vitamin. But when it comes to B vitamins, most, but not all, are probably better taking over that recommended daily intake, and maybe a lot over, depending on the particular B vitamin. So what Clarity includes is high doses of most of the B vitamin. Well, it includes all the B vitamins, high doses of some of them. And those, again, reflect human studies and meta-analyses that have made the argument that high-dose B vitamin complex supplementation is probably a very good strategy for cognitive enhancement. So that's what's in Clarity, and that's what we started selling. And the response from our customers was immediately very good. We started getting sales traction right away. The product gained attention, gained customers and users.
Was your first one, and how long ago was that you started selling this first one then?
2016.
2016? Okay.
Yep. So it's been just about 4 years now since we launched it. And then because of the uptake of that product, we launched a couple of other products within about 6 months to a year from that period of time. And those next two products were Surge and Serenity. Surge is a product that targets energy and focus. In fact, it's a great pre-workout supplement.
Which I don't know, a lot of people for tonight. Yes.
You used it before your workout tonight? Perfect. Yeah, it contains a high dose of caffeine, about the same amount of caffeine as coffee. And what a lot of people aren't aware of about caffeine is not only does it keep you awake, but it actually has great studies to support its use for improving your endurance and power in the gym when you go for your workout. So you'll be fatigued less quickly and therefore be able to work out a little bit harder and push yourself to get more of a benefit from your gym experience. One of the really cool things about Surge, though, is it's not just caffeine. Caffeine on its own tends to make a lot of people jittery. So caffeine in Surge is combined with something called theanine, L-theanine. And L-theanine and caffeine have been well studied in combination to provide not only boosts to energy, but to do it in a way that decreases the likelihood of getting the jitters or to getting some of the negative side effects that are sometimes associated with caffeine use. And then we also put ginseng in Surge, and ginseng has also been studied in combination with caffeine for improving performance, both physical and mental. So we put those things together. We call it our acute nootropic because we recommend that people don't use it every day. Clarity is for daily use, and it will remain effective. In fact, it becomes more effective over a period of the first 2 to 3 months that you use it. It won't become fully effective for memory for most people until 2 to 3 months. But Surge usually becomes effective right away, and we recommend that you don't use it too much. In fact, if you use too much caffeine, you'll build a tolerance to it, and you'll lose the benefits. So our recommendation to our customers is typically that they use it, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 times a week max, but take breaks and be smart about how you use it, and then you'll maximize the benefit.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I told you this earlier. I had taken the Surge This was the tenacity and the vitality tonight. I think those are the ones I took. Yes, before I went to the gym.
Yeah,
and so I work out with them, and I hadn't taken anything else tonight, so that was a good test of them because I didn't have anything else in my system.
How'd you feel?
I felt good. I had a good workout.
Good to
the
hear.
Workouts, I tell you, as you get older, though, and you're busy, you never get the length of a workout you'd like, though. But as long as you get the intensity while you're there,
Yeah.
And I didn't have a horrible jitters or anything afterwards. Sometimes you try a new supplement or something, or I've taken supplements already where they say only take a certain amount the first time, and you're like, I've been taking supplements for a while. And you take a little extra, and then you're like,
Oh no.
I know. I'm sure you've probably done that already, haven't you?
It's happened, yeah.
But yeah, I feel pretty good. I had a great workout with using those three. I picked those three out of the bundle to use because they look like the best ones to use for this time of the night. Because here it is after 8 and for a workout, so I didn't want to be too alert after my workout.
Yeah. And that's great lead into the other product that we launched. It's about 6 months after Clarity, 6 months to a year after Clarity, and that was Serenity. Serenity is our nightly nootropic. It's intended to help people relax and sleep, fall asleep faster, sleep higher quality. It includes melatonin, more L-theanine, like Clarity, and magnesium glycinate. So L-theanine is a pretty adaptive nootropic. You can use it in multiple formulas for different purposes. On its own, it's not sedative. It will relax you, but it'll help, but you'll still maintain cognitive focus. It won't sedate you like melatonin will. So you can combine theanine, for example, with caffeine, and you've got this great energy nootropic. But if you combine theanine with melatonin, then you get the sedative benefits of the melatonin, the relaxation benefits of the theanine, and then we also put magnesium glycinate in there. And magnesium glycinate will help you reduce your blood pressure and relax and get a higher quality sleep from both the magnesium and the glycine that are in magnesium glycinate.
Now, question, like some of that, could you recommend that also for people that are stressed, or like we're talking about, I said about you trying the one for some meetings I have this week. But now if you are in a stress state, you're not necessarily wanting to go to sleep, but maybe you have a meeting you're going to and you're very stressed over it. Might that help you to be a little more relaxed for the meeting, or would you not recommend that?
I wouldn't recommend Serenity before meetings because it does have a tendency to make you sleepy. But a good supplement for stress would be Clarity. The rhodiola in Clarity is an adaptogen. And what adaptogens do typically for most people is that if you're too low, they tend to pick you up a little bit and give you some energy. If you're too high, they'll calm you down and relax you so that you're not freaking out. So
a little bit.
Yeah. So that's what I'd recommend you try when you're feeling a little bit of stress is the Clarity. And in fact, it's a great supplement to take on a daily basis. We've designed it for that purpose.
Okay, so now this is a great company. I like the idea of you doing this as your own business. It's great. I used to try and sell different vitamins too. At one time, I was up to having 3 karate studios, and I tried to sell different supplements.
Oh, cool.
Time because I thought, well, you're giving them physical activity, give them supplements. It really didn't work out as well as I'd like. I tried some side things, but I really like this idea that you're working on this. I myself have done supplements for a long time. I remember back in the actually 60s, I can think it was Bob Hoffman's. I know that's before your time, but there was a gentleman named Bob Hoffman that sold protein powders and different stuff. And it went along with York barbells, and they kind of sold together. And it was very interesting how the market has changed and improved so much better. Now, just a question for you, just to be a devil's advocate a little bit. I think these are high quality. What would you say is the thing that sets you apart from other vitamin companies?
Yeah, great question. And the answer to that is going to be threefold. Number one, and probably the most important thing in my list, is that we have open source formulas and quality control. For every single one of our products, we display on the label all of the nutrients, all of the doses. And then if you go to the product webpage for the product, you can see every single one of our suppliers, all of our test results from our suppliers, from manufacturing and third-party testers to demonstrate that we've tested every single one of these products, every nutrient in all of their combinations for potency, for identity, for microbes, and for heavy metals to make sure that it's safe and that we're actually giving you what we tell you we're giving you. That is a huge difference from almost every single other supplier of supplements anywhere in the world. Very, very few will share with you their quality control information, and most are very guarded about it. And then, of course, there's some bad actors, a lot of actually bad actors in the industry, that the reason they don't want to share it with you is they don't have it. They actually haven't done the testing they should be doing to actually make sure that they're giving you what they claim to be giving you. So they'll go buy some random powder from some street vendor in China. They'll dump it in a capsule and they'll sell it to you on Amazon. And guess what? You're eating sawdust thinking that it's I don't know what. So number one difference right there, huge difference, is that we're completely open source on all of that. All of our nutrients, all of our doses, all of our sourcing, supplier testing, manufacturer testing, it's all there for you to look at so that you can have confidence in what we're doing. Number two, we only use nutrients and doses that reflect multiple human studies and that are proven to be effective according to multiple human studies. We don't use experimental doses. We don't use experimental substances. So you aren't going to find something in our products where we put a great ingredient, but a super tiny little pixie dose of it. And you're not going to find any experimental ingredients where it's been tested in maybe a lab rat, but never a human. You won't find that in any of our products either. Everything in all of our products, both the nutrients and the doses, have been tested multiple times in humans and found to be effective. And then number three, you'd think that with that emphasis on open source quality, and you'd think that with that emphasis on human studies, that we would be selling things that cost $1 gazillion. But no, our prices are extremely competitive. They're very high value. They're not the lowest on the market, but on a evidenced dose per dollar basis as a ratio, they are, I think, probably the most valuable nootropics on the market anywhere in the world. And that's a big claim, but I think we can back it up. So those are the big distinctions, the quality, the science, and the value that I make for the products that we sell.
Yeah, you made some good points there. And I think people don't realize also some of the vitamins stuff that sometimes you get like from China and stuff, sometimes they are taken off, like they sell them sometimes at gas stations, and they're taken off the counters because in all reality, some of them, it is cheaper for them to put cheap drugs in them than to actually put the herbs and the nutrients that they say they have in them.
For sure.
And that's dangerous for you because you really don't know what you're getting because you're not getting what you're supposed to get. And that's dangerous. So it's good
Yes.
to have a quality control. Next question for you is, now that you have this, where are you, what is the next thing you're looking for Thrivous doing? Is there a next level, or is there a different direction, or where do you plan on going next with Thrivous?
Love the question. Our mission at Thrivous is to help people access technology with the greatest potential to improve their brains and bodies. We call ourselves the Human Enhancement Company. So we're not a supplement company. Supplements are the first thing that we introduced to help people improve their performance cognitively and for better aging. But our aspirations are broader than that. The reason we start with supplements is that people understand what they are accessible, they're affordable, and they can be effective for many people. But we also want to help people improve their brains and bodies using other tools as our ability to provide them at affordable rates becomes, possible. So we've been looking at a number of things. Some of them are more secret than others. One thing that I can tell you that we've been looking at very hard are helping people quantify the state of their biology. So for example, it would be really cool if you could take a test that tells you how old you are in a dependable way, biologically, not just chronologically. So say I'm 45 years old chronologically. Well, how old am I biologically? Am I aging faster or slower than people on average for my chronological age? It turns out there are tests out there today that purport to help you know that. And some of them are better than others. Unfortunately, most of them that are on the market today have some limitations that have prevented us from wanting to bring them to our customers. But we're investigating how to get around those problems and bring to our customers some effective tests that can help them gain insight into their biological age. Other things we're looking at are like the status of various nutrients in the system, maybe other blood tests to help people keep on top of their health statistics in general, and perhaps help people analyze that information and make better nutrition decisions from that information. So that's one thing we're looking at. We've also been looking at potentially starting some brick and mortar locations where people can go and use capital intensive equipment that is designed for human enhancement. So there are things like sensory deprivation or various kinds of other tools, machines that help people relieve stress or get into meditative states, or perhaps get them excited, energetic, help them move away from having social anxiety and be more charismatic, perhaps. There's a lot of things, a lot of studies have been done around machines that can help people improve their well-being. But unfortunately, those machines are very expensive, so people can't buy them on their own, but they can go share their use. And so perhaps we can help people make investments in brick and mortar areas where they can get together, use these machines, improve themselves, and then do it at a lower price than if they try to buy a $1 million machine on their own. So those are a couple of the things that we're looking at. We've got some others we're also exploring, and I hope over time that you'll be able to see Thrivous introducing other products and services to the human enhancement enthusiast in you.
That's an interesting idea. It kind of reminds me of like a new idea for a different kind of a gym, but not like people think of a gym.
Yeah.
One, the sensory deprivation, the floating and the relaxation stuff. That would be a very maybe an alternative to people doing going to yoga classes and stuff, or in addition to that, maybe also.
Yeah, I think it actually complements the traditional gym very well. And we've given some consideration to starting a gym ourselves to do it, or maybe partnering with an existing gym and building side by side with them. So, after you get your workout, which, man, I'm a very big advocate of working out. Don't just do this stuff I'm talking about and not go work out. By all means, please keep working out. That stuff's great for you. But then after you've done your workout, maybe go use one of these machines while you're relaxing and double down on the benefits to your body.
I saw an article many years ago about creatine, which I thought was hilarious. And the article was creatine or lifting. And I thought to myself, they really have no clue, because what's the creatine if you don't lift? It's a supplement to take to help with that, not to be done on its own. Although I do realize, being male and you're male, there is a time in our life when we're young, and it seems like you can look at weights and you get strong. When you're about 17, 18, 19, because of our hormone shift, it's maybe we didn't need to exercise as much and we could take the creatine. But in all reality, it's to do along with lifetime things, not to do instead of it. And
absolutely.
I think sometimes people miss that. I've had people ask me at the gym, younger people, what supplements do you take? Because you lift heavy. And it's like, well, I've been going to the gym since I was younger than you. It's not, the supplements help you, but you have to also put in the time.
Yeah.
I mean, and people miss that sometimes. It's a synergistic effect between the two.
Absolutely.
I mean, you shouldn't kill your body without feeding it. But then again, you can't feed it without exercising it either. And I have to admit, we talked about doing things to extend your memory and stuff. And I do carry the gene for dementia, and my mother and my grandmother both died of that. And I think the issue with that is, biggest thing I saw with them is, although they ate well and took supplements, they really didn't exercise.
Huh.
And I question how things might have affected them if they had exercised more.
Yeah.
Because people think, well, exercise works your body, not really your mind, but it actually does work your mind also.
Yes.
And people don't realize that also. So I do think that's it's very important as you get older to keep exercising. I myself do Tai Chi some every morning, and that's a nice, easy exercise too, on top of a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have to keep being active, and I think that's important. And And hopefully in this day and age, we'll have things and not only supplements, but other things that'll help people. So that's important.
Totally agree.
When do you think some of these new projects might come about? What do you look at as far as your calendar, or shall we say your clock, for when you expect them to become realities and get out there?
Yeah, so they'll come out as Thrivous continues to gain financial traction. Some of them require larger investments from us than others. We are hoping to introduce some human enhancement services, some new services this year. And when they happen, those are a little bit more secret. I didn't mention what those will be, but they will most likely be coming out this year, and we'll make a big announcement when it comes out, and I think people will find them helpful.
So I'll close this out very shortly, but I wanted to say that this is going to be one of a couple interviews I hope to do with you, because I just got the supplements today, and I'm going to be using them, trying them. I'm going to be writing about them on my blog at crazyjohncarrots.com or johncarrots.com. Last name is Carrots, Kerecz. I'll put it down below. Last time I had an interview with Steel Archer on Detonation, which is a show that you do sponsor. I don't know if you watched that interview yet, but I made sure I pointed down below.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you.
To your ad. So the other thing I wanted to say about that, with you being the sponsor of Detonation and Steel Archer, I would hope that direct people to Steel Archer and Detonation on YouTube, and have them watch his interviews, and also repost not only this interview, but repost Steel Archer's Detonation. And I believe you have a deal with Steel to help him with the show if people repost, and also say that, put the little symbols down there, hashtag Thrivous. Yeah. So I would hope myself, I'm not interested in that myself. I want everybody to help Steel Archer and Detonation. And Steel Archer works with the United States Transhumanist Party, and that is about extending life, helping us live longer and healthier, is one of the main things of the Transhumanist Party. So I'd hope people would get out and watch that, try the supplements. I will post a bunch of information, and we're going to have some follow-up interviews of what's going on with Thrivous, and also how I'm enjoying the supplements. Like I said, tonight was my first night I tried them. Had a good workout, wasn't jittery afterwards. I probably could still talk a mile a minute though, but that's how I get anyhow. So, hey, no laughing in the background there. But so yeah, I think it's great. It's something I would have liked to have at one time done myself, and I'm glad to be trying your products and help get it out there for you. And what would you like to plug in the last couple of minutes? Any your website, I know, is just Thrivous.com, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah.
That is THRIVOUS.com.
Perfect.
And I love that name, Thrivous, too. And I was saying earlier, like, you're thriving. So
yeah.
That's great. Thrive us. I guess we're all thriving then. So
I hope so. That's the goal.
So what would you like to say in closing then, Lincoln?
Yeah, just in closing, thank you so much for having me on your show, John. And thanks. I love the advice you've given about making sure that people don't think of supplements as a replacement for a healthy lifestyle. They're not. They complement a healthy lifestyle.
Right,
they
exactly.
make a healthy lifestyle even better. And thanks also for pointing out the show that we're sponsoring, Detonation, that Steel Archer is putting on. Great show. Our sponsorship there is that as people share that show, and if they thank Thrivous for sponsoring it when they share the show, then we are giving away exponential gifts. So the more people share the show, the higher our gift goes out for that episode of the show, and up to $160 per show. So people can get a lot of free supplements if they share Steel's show. I encourage them to do that. It is an interesting show. He and his guests talk about fascinating subjects. And finally, I'll just say, hey, yeah, I'm excited to talk with you again, follow up and see how the supplements are treating you, answer any questions you have. Maybe you'll have questions from your audience. I'm happy to address those too.
Well, thank you very much. And I don't know how soon we'll do that. We'll see, maybe within a month or two, and
sure.
we'll see how it's going. And follow up, and I will have some stuff on how things are going on my blog, and I will put all that, like that old saying does, down below. So thank you very much, and hope everybody that listens to this gets out, looks at the website, tries some products, and thank you for being with us.
Thanks, John.